So whatever the volumetric efficiency we have calculated is 1 plus K minus K into P2 by P1, where P2 is the pressure after compression, P1 is the pressure before compression, to the power whole power 1 by N, where N is the index of polytropic process, that is originally is taken by the compression process. So now we know for a polytropic process, P1 V1 power N equal to P2 V2 to the power N. From there, in its place, we also can write the V1 by V2 also. What is this V1 by V2? Again, we can take it as compression ratio also. Compression ratio we can write, that also we can replace. That is what about the estimation of volumetric efficiency. So next, yesterday's class we have initiated the discussion about the multi-stage compression. Multi-stage compression. Why multi-stage compression is required? So when instead of the single stage compression. So that can be understood again from the diagram. So that is the PV diagram we have considered for two-stage compression. So multi-stage compression means that is between the stages of compression. That is one stage of compression is in LP cylinder, low pressure cylinder. Another stage of compression is HP cylinder. If there are two stages of compression is there. In between, so those two are interconnected by some other device called as intercooler also. What is the advantage of this intercooler? All these things I will try to explain. Basically, why do we go for multi-stage compression when there is already single stage compression is happening in a compressor? Suppose you see this diagram, PV diagram here. Suppose if our objective is to compress the air to a pressure of something like 4 bar in the first instant, next instant it is increased to a value of 6 bar, next instant it is increased to a value of 8 bar, let us assume. So in the same single stage compression, on 3 different occasions with the different pressures, we are expecting the air to be compressed. In the first stage, we are compressing the air up to 4 bar pressure. Let us suppose that corresponds to 2 to 3, let us assume. So next stage we are compressing to 6 bar. That may be the pressure line corresponding to 5, 6. The third stage is, so to a compressor pressure value of 8 bar when you are increasing. So that is the stage corresponding to state point 8. See, on increasing the pressure, what will happen? Here the constant clearance volume provided for the cylinder is V3 or corresponding to V8. So this is fixed. So what for the clearance volume is provided in the single stage compressor is, so for free movement of the valves, maybe of inlet valve and the delivery valve. So that is what is the clearance volume is fixed volume provided for free movement of the valves. Let us suppose for the first case of 4 bar pressure increase, that is the cycle consisting of 1, 2, 3, 4. So next case, when raised the pressure value to a value of 6 bar, that is the cycle consisting of 1, 5, 6, 7. So when increased the pressure value to 8 bar, so then that is the cycle corresponding to 1871. 1871. Without, in all the 3 cases also, we are not altering the clearance volume. In all the 3 cases, even in the case of 4 bar compression value, 6 bar compression value, and 8 bar compression value. So what you have observed in this diagram? So the expansion volume by the air, the expansion volume of the clearance air. So whatever air that has already residued, whatever the air at the end of compression that has stored in the compression volume, so only by dropping its pressure value to a value corresponding to 4, from 4 to 1, then free air from in the next cycle of operation, again the fresh air will enter into the cylinder. After dropping the pressure from 3 to 4 in the return stroke or the suction stroke of the cylinder, after dropping the pressure value to corresponding to 4. So corresponding to 4 means that is the pressure. So lower than the atmospheric pressure, here the inlet valve will open from here to 1. So the fresh air will enter into the cylinder. Suppose if the pressure is increased to 6 bar means what happened to that expansion of the cylinder volume? That is increased. Compared to 3-4 line, 6-7 line is increased. Then what is the volume of air that has entered into the cylinder? That is corresponding to V1 minus V7. suppose if the pressure is increased to 8 bar, so that means again along the same line only that has expanded, no fresh air is possible to be entered in. So the complete expansion of the stroke is utilized in dropping the pressure, and there is no chance no fresh air into the cylinder. So that is what is the case. So therefore, upon continuous increase of the pressure in the single stage compression, so the amount of air that is entering into the cylinder is getting decreased. So that will reduce the volumetric efficiency. If no fresh air is compressed, means what is the advantage of having the compressor for us? That is why we go for adopting the multi-stage compression. So we go for, so from the understanding of this PV diagram for a single stage compression, for lower pressure compression corresponding to 2 to 3, for medium pressure compression 5 to 6, for high pressure compression corresponding to 8. So the expansion of the compressed air in the control volume or clearance volume, so that is what is very less in this case, very more in this case, very high in this third case. So therefore, as more of the compressed air is expanded, so then the fresh air that has entered into the cylinder is getting decreased. This is from 7 to 1 in the second case, that is 7 to 1 in the second case, and 4 to 1 in the first case, and no fresh air in the third case of increasing the pressure to a value of 8 bar. So that is why, so when you try to increase the pressure in a single stage, the fresh air that is trying to enter into the cylinder is getting decreased. So as the pressure is continuously increased in a single stage, means the fresh air that is entering in the next cycle, that is getting decreased. So when no fresh air is entering in the next cycle, means where is the possibility for compressing in the continuous cycles? That is why we don't go for adapting of single stage compression. We don't go for adapting of single stage compression. So that is why we purely depend on multi-stage compression. Multi-stage compression we go for. So why multi-stage compression means expecting the maximum volume of air to be entered in each cycle of the compression. So we go for adapting multi-stage compression. So that is the advantage. After realizing the advantages also I have mentioned here. Again, I will share this material to you. The same material you can go through. You need not write any notes. So the same thing you can just go through after listening here. So moreover, see here, compressing the air at a stretch to a very large values. So more work also will be consumed. More work also will be consumed by the compressor, and that is why. So when you go for multi-stage compressions, less power is consumed by the compressor. And moreover, volumetric efficiency. Volumetric efficiency means actual volume of air inhaled, so to the swept volume taken place by the piston. So here, for in each stage of the compression, when the pressure ratio is of lesser, means more quantity of air can be entered into the cylinder. Therefore, volumetric efficiency. You see here. So for during 1 to 2, what is the pressure ratio? So corresponding to 1 atmospheric pressure or below the atmospheric pressure, corresponding to 2, 4 bar. Suppose if it is increased from 1 to 5, means 6 by 1 is the, suppose if atmospheric pressure is the pressure of 1 bar, if you assume, from 1 bar to 6 bar, the pressure rise is taken place in the next case, second case. In the first case, so this is 4 bar pressure, this is 1 bar pressure, the pressure ratio is of lesser in the case of first one. In the case of second one, so medium pressure. So in the case of third case, very high pressure ratios. So as the pressure ratios are increased, the quantity of fresh air entered into the cylinder is getting decreased. What is the reason for that? So that is due to, long time is required, long stroke is required to drop the pressure from high pressure. To drop the pressure from high pressure, long stroke is required by the piston. So that is why, the actual volume of fresh air entering into the cylinder in each cycle of operation is getting decreased if you go for a single stage compression. So that is why we don't prefer the single stage compression. Multi-stage compression we will adopt. So advantage of multi-stage compression is less power is sufficient. Less power is sufficient. Why less power is sufficient? For raising the pressure to a lower values. For raising the pressure to a lower values, then so less power is required then. As it is depending on pressure ratio, so pressure ratio is lesser in each stage of compression means no power is required or low work is required. And also, as low pressures are maintained in each stage of compression, so volumetric efficiency also can be improved upon. So that is what is. If moreover, one more advantage is also, as you are maintaining the lesser pressure ratios, the balancing problems also will be of very less, or they can be neglected also. When balancing problems are very less means lesser flywheel or the small size of the flywheel may be sufficient enough to be attached to the compressor. If that is not the case, if more fluctuations of the powers are there means more size or bigger size of the flywheel must be attached. That is additional burden for the compressor. So keeping all these aspects into consideration, we go for multi-stage compression instead of single-stage compression. So suppose when multi-stage compression is adopted, let us consider the two-stage compression. Two-stage compression means, so there is after one stage of compression, which we call it as LP cylinder. LP cylinder means low pressure cylinder, and then via this of the intercooler that enters into the next stage of compression, we call it as high pressure cylinder also. We call it as high pressure cylinder. So in the high pressure cylinder, so then pressure at the exit of the LP cylinder, that will be considered the inlet pressure for the HP cylinder. From that pressure, it will again compress to a next level of compression and will be taken and stored in a separate storage tank. So between these two stages of compression, a separate intercooler is connected. Intercooler is nothing but a heat exchanger. After compressing the air in first stage of compression, that is in LP cylinder, maybe for 4 bar, after compressing the air first case, then corresponding to 4 bar rise of the pressure, there will be rise of temperature also. After sending it into the intercooler, what can be done? The rise in temperature on compression, that will be reduced. Theoretically, the temperature drop will be taken place, which is same as that of the entering air into the LP cylinder. After intercooler, by rejecting the heat available with the compressed air, in the intercooler, there will be the storage of something like cold oil. So to that cold oil, after transferring the heat, the temperature will be dropped to inlet temperature of the LP cylinder, but pressure won't be changed. After the LP cylinder, whatever the pressure rise is there, same pressure rise will be there even after coming to the intercooler also. But only thing is the temperature will be dropped to inlet temperature of the LP cylinder. So that means, so the temperature here, that means at the exit of the intercooler is same as that of temperature at the beginning of the LP cylinder. The temperature here is same as that of the temperature also at the after the intercooler, but the pressure here is different. The pressure here is different. The pressure here is different. Inlet pressure is below the atmospheric pressure or at the atmospheric pressure, and after compression, that is above the atmospheric pressure. This is greater than P atmosphere. Here, this value is more than P atmosphere, whereas here it is atmospheric pressure. But the temperature here is same as that of what the temperature we have observed. So while entering into the LP cylinder. Now, so at the inlet temperature of the LP cylinder, at exit temperature of the LP, at the exit pressure of the LP cylinder, now the air is entering again into the HP cylinder. Now that got compressed to some more pressure rise. So now to a required value of the pressure. So then that got compressed and will be taken and stored in a separate storage tank. A storage tank will be there. Into that storage tank, so that will be stored here, storage tank. So that is what is, that is possible. So this is the working of the multi-stage compression. Multi-stage compression, instead of continuing the compression in single stage, we go for to multi-stages of compression. The same thing we are trying to explain here, even with the PV, with the help of the PV diagram also. Okay, same I am trying to explain even with the help of PV diagram. What is the advantage? Let us consider the two-stage compression, where it consists of heat that has taken into the cylinder corresponding to state point 1 that started to be compressed. So starting from 1. So where during 14781, that is the cycle of one stage of compression. So the cycle that consists of one, one, 4, 7, 8, and 1. That is the cycle consisting of first stage of compression. After compression to a pressure of P2 or P4, suppose again second stage is coupled there, means the cycle consisting of 4, 5, 7. Clearance volume for explanation sake. Actually, in all the realistic cases of the compressors, clearance volume, here we are neglecting. Even the clearance volume is also there. The same explanation is applicable. Even without the increase of clearance volume, same explanation is applicable. So here, what is happening? What is this hatched portion area? As I told you that between the stages of compression, we are introducing the intercooler. The advantage of intercooler is to drop the temperature after every stage of compression. You see, so the first cycle, if you consider, that is the compression of the LP cylinder 1478. So here, after the compression corresponding to 4 in the first stage, by sending it to the intercooler, the temperature is dropped. That the temperature is same as that of the initial temperature before compression in the LP cylinder. That means 1-2 is isothermal process. 1-2 is isothermal process. Here and here, at 1 and 2, temperatures are constantly same. 1-2 is nothing but the isothermal process. That means with the introduction of the intercooler, what we are getting here is to be followed. Isothermal compression is possible to be followed. That means compression before entering into the LP cylinder is same as that of temperature after the compression in the LP cylinder. Suppose if the same isothermal process is extended up to the end of the second stage also, so this is what is the process we can represent. One line is the actual isothermal process we can represent if it is continued up to second stage of compression also. But originally, what is the process that is followed by the compression? Neither isothermal is possible nor adiabatic process is also possible. So in all the cases, neither isothermal process is possible. This is not possible. Even adiabatic process also is not possible. So which is possible means intermediately polytropic compression is possible. This is what is polytropic compression. So if single stage compression is continuously happened, but in the multi-stage compression we are saying. So here in the first stage of compression, the cycle that is constituted of 81478. So next, after reducing the temperature to a value corresponding to 2, from here the next stage of compression must be begin. The next stage of compression must be begin. That is what is taken place. So how is this shifting of state point is possible? By sending it to the intercooler, there is a drop of temperature from 4 to 2. Then, so 2 is same as that of 1 we are saying theoretically. Now from state point to next stage of compression when begins, that is the second stage of compression carried out. So that is what. Suppose if this multi-stage is not there, in the single stage continuously from here to here, so this is what is the compression taken place at a stretch. So therefore, from single stage to multi-stage, there is the saving of work. What is the area occupied by the cycle in a PV diagram? That is the area. So instead of continuing the compression at a stretch from 1 to 5, if that is continued in 2 stages, that is from 1 to 4 and also from 2 to 3, there is the saving of work. By this much value. There is this, that is the advantage. So by minimizing the compression work, we will be able to raise the pressure to the same value. See, even so in the single stage also, ultimately to the same pressurized to get it. So this work was not minimized. So with the introduction of the intercooler, with the minimization of this compression work, we could able to compress to the same level of pressure when you go for multi-stage compression. That is what I have mentioned. So this is nothing but the, so this cycle, last cycle is that last curve is representing without intercooling, and the lower cycle that represents the with perfect intercooling. Perfect intercooling meaning is at the end of intercooling, that means after sending it through the intercooler, theoretically the temperature of the compressed air is same as that of initial temperature before begin to enter into the LP cylinder. That is the advantage. So this is the cycle representing the LP cylinder. This is the cycle representing the HP cylinder, high pressure cylinder, low pressure cylinder. That is the advantage. We can save the work. We can save the work. So why continuously it is not possible to continue with isothermal compression? Means isothermal compression to be taken place. So that is, suppose starting from 2 and followed along the line of 2,9 means even more work can be minimized. Even more work can be minimized. But practically that is not possible. If isothermal process to be happened means, so the compressor must run at a very, very slow rate. Practically that is not possible. So the practical case of compression to be followed is along polytropic process. This line also is representing the polytropic line. This line also is representing the polytropic line. But this line is representing when single stage compression is taken place. But this line is representing when multi-stage compression is taken place. So that is why when shifted from single stage to multi-stage, there is the saving of work by this much quantity. There is saving of work by this much quantity. That is advantage. See here, to run the compressor, what is required at the input level? Mechanical work. Then, so we are raising the value to a value of P2. So we are raising the pressure value by a value P2. With the consumption of mechanical work at the inlet, so we are raising the value to a value of P2. Correspondingly, temperature also will be T2. That means the work, mechanical work is converted to pressure energy, or so that is heat energy otherwise. So that is the advantage we can get. So when you go for multi-stage compression. Next, our job is, what is the work so consumed by the multi-stage compressor? What is the work consumed by the multi-stage compressor? We are doing it. What is the work consumed by the multi-stage compression? So next, what is the work done by a multi-stage compression we are trying to estimate? So that is followed here. So in that of the PV diagram also, what is the cycle 81568? You see this, what is the 81568 cycle? In this cycle, 81568 cycle, that represents the when single stage compression is permitted by the compressor. So that is what is single stage compression. I have written here. So now, what is 81478 cycle represents? So that is, so LP cylinder compression in the first stage. So 74567, again that is the second stage of compression. For the second stage of compression in the multi-stage compression. So that is without the intercooler. With the inclusion of intercooler, what are the cycles that we can describe? 8147 is the first stage of compression. So with the inclusion of intercooler, 7236 is the second stage of compression. So compression will not begin corresponding to 4 when intercooler is there. When intercooler is not there, it will continue straight away from 4. When intercooler is there, it will continue corresponding to state point 2. So our next job is to estimate the work done for multi-stage compression. That we are trying to get it. So that is work done per cycle with perfect intercooling we are doing. So there are two stages. For first stage, as usual, we have already known. So what is the compression work for every one cycle of compression? That is N by N1, P1, V1. And in the first stage from P1 to P4, the compression is taken place, whole to the power N minus 1 by N minus 1. Next cycle from where to where it has commenced? From state point 2, that is N by N minus 1, P2, V2. And to what pressure the compression is taken place? P3, P3 by P2, whole power N minus 1 by N minus 1. This is for first stage of compression, the work consumed. This is for the second stage, the work consumed. Both we have summed up, we have got the relation. So this is the work constituted by the cycle 81478. This is the work constituted by the second cycle or the second stage of compression. So then we are saying that after introducing the intercooler, the temperature after compression in the first stage, that is T2, is same as that of T1 temperature. So therefore, when T1 equal to T2 means it is isothermal process. Isothermal process, how do we represent between the state points 1 and 2? P1 V1 equal to P2 V2. P1 V1 equal to P2 V2. Since P2 and P4 are on the same pressure lines, P2 also equal to P4. So those by substituting in the above equation, by substituting, so what can be obtained? So this is what we are getting. P1 V1 equal to P2 V2. So in the case of P2 V2, whatever is there here, P2 V2, whatever is there P2 V2, now I am writing that as P1 V1 only. Here also P1 V1 is already there. In the second case also P2 V2, there P1 V1 is replaced. Then the work done is written as N by N minus 1, P1 V1, P2 by P1 whole power N minus 1 plus P3 by P2 for the second stage, N minus 1 by N minus 1 minus 1. 2 times will come, that becomes minus 2. So now suppose, so while you are expecting the minimum work to be consumed to get the same pressure rise, what is the condition required? So that we are trying to estimate it. So we have already seen that. So this is the equation for work of the two-stage compression. This is the equation we use it for estimation of work in the two-stage compression. So while expecting the minimum work from the compressor operation, where P1 is entry pressure, that is atmospheric pressure for the compression, volume of P1 equal to volume of air entered into the cylinder. All these are all known except P1 and P3 are known. P1 and P3 are known. Raising the pressure value in each stage to P2 value, that will affect the amount of work consumed by the compressor. You see here in the earlier diagram, if you see, if P2 is shifted to this level, suppose if P2 is shifted to this level, what is happening to this hatched portion? That also keeps on changing. That means with the variation of P2, the amount of hatched portion is also changing. So that means when P2 changes, so the amount of power saved, so that also will be changing. That means based on P2 only, the amount of work consumed by the compressor also will be keeps on changing. So either to get the maximum work or minimum work. So with the change of P2 value, how do we do mathematically? D by dP2 of the work value must be differentiated and to be equated to 0. Whatever work relation we have calculated, that must be differentiated with respect to P2 and to be equated to 0. So to get at what value of P2, we can get minimum work of consumption. That is done. Ultimately, we have got the relation as P2 square equal to P1. This is not the P2, P1, P3. This is inlet pressure of or entry pressure to the LP cylinder. This is exit pressure from the HP cylinder or from the second cylinder. P2 square equal to P1, P2. Otherwise, P2 equal to root of P1, P3. Where P1 is the inlet pressure to the inlet cylinder or LP cylinder. P3 is the exit pressure from the second stage of compressor. So that means the intermediate pressure, while expecting the minimum work by the multi-stage compression, the intermediate pressure P2 must be equal to always geometric mean of inlet pressure and delivery pressure. When this condition is satisfied by the multi-stage compression, then we say that minimum work is consumed by the compressor. Minimum work is consumed by the compressor. This also can be written as P2 into P2 I can write. P2 into P2 I can write, that is equal to P1 into P3. By mistake it is written as P2. This is P3. So P2 into P2 equal to P1 into P3. That also is rearranged and written like this. P2 by P1 equal to P3 by P2. What do you mean by this? This is the pressure ratio obtained in the first stage of cycle. This is the pressure ratio obtained in the second stage of cycle. So this is the second stage of cycle pressure ratio obtained in the first stage of compression, the pressure ratio obtained. What do you mean by that? While expecting the minimum work, the pressure ratio obtained from each stage of compression must be same. That is what is our conclusion. The pressure ratio for every stage of compression must be same while expecting the minimum work for the compression. That is what is the condition must be known. So in the earlier diagram, in the earlier statement, P3 by P2 also now I am replacing with the P2 by P1. On substituting P3 by P2 also as P2 by P1, the ultimate work done by the two-stage compression is written as N by N minus 1 P1 V1, P2 by P1 whole power N minus 1 by N plus P3 by P2 whole power N minus 1. Since P3 by P2 is also same as that of P2 by P1, 2 times of P2 by P1, the 2 also has come outside of the brackets. That is what is the work done. So with the perfect intercooling for two-stage compression, the work consumed by the compressor equal to 2N by N minus 1, P1 V1, P2 by P1, N minus 1 by N minus 1. Otherwise, in every stage of compression also, the work consumed by the compressor is same. That means equal quantities of works are consumed by every stage of compression while expecting the minimum work to be consumed by the multi-stage compression. So that is the meaning of that is adapting the multi-stage compression. So why multi-stage compression is required means, so we can reduce the work consumed by the compressor, and at the same time, so the volume of air entered into each stage of compression also will be higher. That means with better volumetric efficiency and with minimum work, we can continue the compression process. So keeping these advantages in mind, so we have gone for adapting the multi-stage compression. So what is this relation in this? So N by N minus 1, P1 V1, P2 by P1 whole power N minus 1 by N minus 1, that is the work consumed by the single stage compression. So there are two stages means, since same amount of work is consumed by every stage of compression, same amount of work, this amount of work is consumed by every stage of compression. So there are two stages, simply multiplied by 2. That's all, nothing to be remembered. While expecting the minimum work by the